Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I welcome you all to your social studies class. Today we are going to cover our third chapter and we will learn some very interesting things. Are you ready? Okay, good. Let's start. Okay, the name of this chapter is Earth as a Home for Human Beings. So, we have already learned that Earth is the part of solar system, a small but very important planet. Okay, and Earth is like a big ball covered with water, rocks, and soil, and surrounded by air. Okay, so now we are going to discuss in detail that what is. We have already discussed in detail that what is Earth, and now we are going to see that how human life is possible on Earth. What are the reasons behind this thing? Okay, so introduction. Earth is the only planet which supports life. Okay, and Earth is the home of human beings. It provides a natural environment which is very essential for life. Okay, you can see the model here, you can see this figure here, that what is natural environment? Yeah, what are the components of the natural environment? So you can see that vegetation, animals, climate, and the physical landscape, all these four things, it makes the natural environment. Now, we are going to find out that what are the reasons or why and what makes the earth habitable, why human life is possible only on earth. Okay, so there are three basic reasons behind it. The first one is the temperature of the earth, which is very suitable for the life, for all forms of life, and it is because the distance from the sun is suitable for this life, the distance of the earth from the sun. Okay, like the other planets, Mercury, Venus, they are very hot because they are nearer to sun. Okay, and the second thing is that Earth has a huge mass of water and other planets do not have that much water, which is important for human life and other lives. And Earth has oxygen enriched air, okay, which is called atmosphere. And then let's move to the second slide. Now we are going to discuss the natural spheres of the earth. There are four spheres of earth, natural spheres of earth. The first one is atmosphere. Okay, now what is atmosphere? There is an envelope of different gases, water vapors, and dust particles which surrounds our earth, and it is called atmosphere, or you can say the layer of the gases surrounded the planet, and atmosphere composed of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and some other gases in small amount. Okay, and there is ozone too, which shields our earth from the dangerous rays of the sun. Can you see this figure? See this figure? See? They have shown here the four spheres of earth. The four spheres of earth, the first one is atmosphere, and the second one is lithosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Okay, atmosphere, as I told you, it is like what does it mean? That the different gases and other dust particles, it is the part of the atmosphere. And lithosphere is land. Okay, let me I'll just explain it in briefly here. First, hydrosphere means the water, and biosphere means the life, different forms of life. Okay, so you can see it here in this figure that lithosphere, biosphere, the atmosphere, and hydrosphere. Okay, we have already discussed atmosphere. Now we are going to discuss lithosphere. You know that 29% of earth is comprised of land, and that is called lithosphere. Okay, and the lithosphere is the portion on which you know that human beings live on land. So we live on lithosphere. Okay, now what are the other things on lithosphere, like mountains, plains, forests, deserts? These are all the parts of the lithosphere. Okay, and different types of rocks are there, minerals. You can find different kind of minerals, and the human beings utilize these minerals in different industries. And soil is also there, as I told you in the beginning of the lecture. Okay, then hydrosphere, as I told you, it means that water. So about 71% of the earth's surface is comprised of water. Water is in different shapes. Okay, ocean, rivers, lakes. So, and human beings get fish from the hydrosphere. And the process of evaporation, which results in rain, is also because of hydrosphere. Okay, the fourth and the last one is biosphere. It is the sphere of life comprised of plants, animals, and human beings. Now we are going to see the relationship between the humans and the environment. Okay, atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Collectively, all these four spheres, they form the natural environment, which is very important for human beings. And the human beings are having a very strong relationship with this environment. Now, one by one, we are going to see what kind of relationship is there and why it is environment. It is very important. This environment is very important for human life. Okay, the first thing is climate. Okay, Earth is so big that the climate is different in different parts of the world, of the Earth. So due to this thing, different kind of variation can be found in food, clothing, and way of living of the people. Okay, it is because of the difference of the climate. Acha. So here is something very, very much informative for you, that more than half of the surface of the earth is too humid or too dry or too cold. So this is why it is least populated. Maximum population is found in those areas which are neither too hot nor too cold. Okay, can you see this picture here? There are some children in this picture. The first one is that the people who are living in some children here, some other people here, that the people who are living in the cold climate, they wear woolen clothes and fur coats. Okay, and fish is the very important part of their diet. And the people who are living in the warm climate, they wear light dresses, and their diet is also very simple. Okay, and this variation in climate also affects the color, the physique, and working capabilities of the human beings. Now, the physical landscape and human beings. Okay, most of the human population, the humans, they live on the like on plains, because the environment is very good there. Okay, so the physical landscape and human beings. Okay, the plains are densely populated, but human beings, they are also settled in mountains and deserts. So one by one we are going to see all these areas. The mountains, people who lives in the mountains are very strong because they have to face very difficult situations. Okay, there is no flat land on the mountain, and so there is small scale of cultivation, very few crops. The winters are very severe, summers are pleasant. Okay, it is very difficult to develop a railway network or roads. Forest, you can find a lot of forest there on the mountains. Okay, so wood cutting is one of the important economic activity. So the plains, as I told you, that mostly people live there because the environment is good there, flat land, and the large scale cultivation is possible there. You can develop industries and transportation networks. Climate is very good, it is not too severe. And the deserts, the amount of rainfall in desert is very low. So there is no like rivers in the desert. You know that that deserts are very sandy and dry, and cactus and palms grow in deserts. Okay, and people, they live nomadic life. Okay, and then the third one is water and human beings. So what is the relationship? Now we are going to see this thing. Okay, do you know that it was not, there were no means of transportation, I mean, in the ancient times. So the human beings, they started their journey in water. Okay, and they started their journey in water, and that's why they explored the world. Okay, they began to know the world because of these traveling in boats and ships. Okay, water is the basic necessity of life, and you can find water on the surface of the earth in different forms. The first one is oceans, which is the very, very important source of transportation. International trade is mostly done because of the sea routes. Okay, and you know that the ancient Egyptians, they made canoe. Okay, and the Egyptians made the first wind-driven yachts 5,000 years ago. The Romans constructed ships for the trade about 2,000 years ago. Okay, so, and oceans, do you know that different kind of living organism are there in the oceans? Okay, and it was not possible to know about these organisms before 1850 AD, but after the invention of the submarine, it became possible. Okay, about 85% of the fish is caught from the oceans, and the remaining 15% is from the rivers and the lakes, and the ocean keeps the climate moderate. Then the rivers. Okay, very important source of transportation. Hydroelectricity is possible because of river. A very good source of irrigation. Underground water is also used by humans for their basic necessities and irrigation. And river, valleys and lakes attract tourists. Of course, everybody likes to go there. Okay, the next slide is about forests and human beings. Okay, now we are going to see what is the relationship of human beings and the forest. It is very old. Okay, gathering shrubs, herb and the fruits, like the relationship between the human beings and the forest is very old, and the houses are constructed with the wood in the mountains, and it is the vital importance of modern construction too. Okay, the first thing is that forest is not only one of the source of the beauty of the natural environment, but is a very important source of oxygen. Natural rubber, paper and ships is also because of the forest, and forest affects the climate, and which has a very deep connection with the life of the human beings. Okay, you can see here in this picture that how the human beings are collecting rubber from the plants. Okay, now the living world and the human beings. Okay, human beings catch fish, hunt birds and animals to get food. So besides, they use animals for work according to the environment. You can see it here. As you can see that the dogs are, can you see here in the first picture, that in snowy areas dogs are used to pull wooden sleighs. Okay, in this first picture. And camel is called plain of the desert. Okay, because they can live in the desert even without the water or food. Okay, it is the one of the main source of transportation camel. Okay, it is used by the human beings. Acha. So elephants are also used for heavy transportation. You can see it here in this picture. And oxen are used for traditional cultivation. Okay, my dear student, this is the end of this chapter. Take care. Take good care of yourself. Okay. Allah Hafiz.